Hello! Here we are again in fascinating Friesland. Now, last time, I gave you an update on lovely Leeuwarden and, of course, its destiny as Capital of Culture 2018. Woo-hoo-hoo! Anyway, none of this would have been possible if, long ago, there hadn't been a couple of stoere boeren, tough farmers, who bravely held out against the Dutchmen. I'm talking about this new area, Southwest Friesland, or as they say here, Zuidwest-Fryslân. So quirky, so unique. Yeah, right. Quirky and unique. Or perhaps let's just call it an authority problem. In Southwest Friesland, they define themselves as in no way subordinate to or from something or someone. Isn't that the definition of anarchy? And it's no coincidence that the most important battle in Frisian history took place right here in Worms. This battle was between the Hollandse Count Willem IV and the Frisians. Actually, it was the Battle of Stavoren, since that's where the Dutch enemy came ashore. In the summer, you can still take a look at the locks in Stavoren to get a feeling of the historic battle that took place here. Actually, these locks are some of the best open-air theater I've seen in years. There's a lot of theater and culture in Southwest Friesland. They've got a beautiful theater in Sneek with its anthroposophical design, numerous museums and treasures, the Jopie Huisman Museum, the pottery from Makkum. Zuidwest Friesland, quirky and unique, but also quite modest. If Leeuwarden is married with children, then here it's more like the Addams Family. Modest and a little anarchistic, but solid. Everything they do well. That's why they have football clubs since 1932 with slogans such as performance with pleasure. The name King Peppermint has nothing to do with the House of Orange or British Royals. It stands for kwaliteit in niks geëvenaard, quality rivaled by none. That's what motivates them. That's the spirit that you can see in everything, whether it's sports, business, or building guitars. And someone who works hard and has properly applied this slogan is Monique Slaughter. A good example of performance with pleasure. Yeah, in Southwest Friesland, they always work hard. As close to 50% Southwest Friesland is actually water. With its 813 square kilometers, it is technically the largest municipality in the Netherlands, not to mention the additional 382 square kilometers of water. If Leeuwarden calls itself the capital of water technology, then Southwest Friesland is the capital of water. All that water is the economic engine for the entire province of Friesland and provides a lot of inspiration for the nautical sector as well as shipbuilding and not to mention water recreation. Everyone knows a Prada bag you buy in Milan, a super yacht you buy in Makkum. The super rich of the world know Friesland is the place. This is where the term wet dream got its start. You can place an order from 1 meter up to 60 feet. It only costs you about $1 million a meter. Unfortunately, with the size of some of these monsters, it's impossible to attend the Snake Week. It's the largest inland sailing regatta in the world. And since it's a race, it's all about speed. In fact, it's surely no coincidence that the first edition of the Snake Week was held in 1934, shortly after the enormous dam called the Afsluitdijk was completed in 1932. In Southwest Friesland, water counts more than asphalt. Nowhere else will you find so many aqueducts and civil engineering projects as in Southwest Friesland. That's what happens when you put a bunch of boat builders on the city council. Probably inspired by the gondolas in Venice, the Frisians have developed fjelljappen, pole vaulting over the water. Sort of like playing chess and hoping to jump over and capture a lovely Frisian. Love is the basis of, for example, this underwear. In 1841, two Westphalian textile brothers, Clemens and August Brenningmeier, opened a textile stockhouse in Sneek. A little later, in 1869, and slightly to the north, these German traveling merchants inspired Frisian women in Bolsward with their beautiful fabrics and garments. Though they came for work, eventually both stayed for love, married Frisian women, and settled in Bolsward, and soon half the world was buying their textiles from Lunter in Bolsward. Because imagine if there was no Southwest Friesland, then Leeuwarden would probably not become capital of culture in 2018. Then there would be no epic Elfstedentocht, the 11-city skating tour. It would only be a 5-city tour because 6 of the 11 key cities, Bolsward, Hindelopen, Aalst, Sneek, Stavoren, and Workum, are located here. It'd be such a short trip you could almost do it indoors. In, here we are again, the Skating Temple in Heerenveen. For skaters, it might not be such a disaster, but what about the solar, car, bike, skating tours that are held here every year? If they couldn't go on, that would be a disaster. But there'd also be no Langhorst since 1803. This company is now leading in the field of processing and recycling of plastics in water-related sectors. If there was no Southwest Friesland, there would be no Waterpoort, or Watergate, the original. If Frisians are proud of something, they flaunt it. Similarly, in Sneek, their Watergate is from 1492, and at least it's upright and not tilted like the Oldehove. And in 1897, an old sailmaker named Douwe Gastra put this picture as a logo on his sails. Now, for more than a century, the Gastra logo stands for the best in high-tech sailing, clothing, and gear. You see it everywhere, and I mean everywhere. Not just at the Snakeveek, but at St. Bart's, Saint-Tropez, the Caribbean, etc., etc. The original Watergate, its influence can still be seen, not just in Friesland, but beyond. You may find the Waterpoort everywhere from Denmark to Nagasaki. And last but not least, it's the ace of spades on every deck of cards in the Netherlands. In short, everything that makes life worth living can be found here in Southwest Friesland. Whether it's living, working, entertainment, relaxation, inspiration, or hospitality you're looking for, or a potential life partner, we have it all here. Zuidwest-Fryslân. Yes, it's quirky, but definitely unique. I'm Greg Shapiro, Ochen, and thank you very Dutch.